It's time for the Jim and Terry Show.
Maybe it was better that we didn't try to Skype. Good morning, the Jim and Terry Show, coming to you from the Hobbit Hole studio with my coffee in my hand. Ching, ching,
ching, ching.
Clink.
I got a coffee. Of course, I've been up for hours.
Join the club. What time were you up?
I respond not that low. Well, I've been up. I tried some stuff because I don't like getting up and going to the washroom. So I tried some new supplements,
right?
Which I mean made me get up twice as much. My body always works reverse to everything ever invented, just the way it is. So I got up at 5:30. Did I get up at 5:30? Yeah, I got up at 5:30 and made coffee and all that crap. But I responded to your email. Well, I told you, yeah, fine and dandy.
You could check it out. It could be in your outbox because I have nothing in my inbox and there's no response to that email. So I did not know. I'm sorry. I apologize. And having got up early to see if I missed it through the wee hours of the morning, I still did not see any response, nothing in my inbox. So I just went on my merry way doing my merry things like Robin and his merry men.
Did you get my email this morning when I said ready when you are?
No.
I said that at 6.
And there you go.
Technology, I hope there isn't any of it in heaven.
Well, speaking of heaven, let's go back down the Christmas road and talk about Christmas and your highlights, things that you enjoyed. How did things go?
Oh, for me, it went, a mixed bag of stuff. As you know, a few weeks ago, I got vertigo.
Yes.
And that really messed me up. I'm just now starting to come out of it. I can drive now, but a little dizzy. So far today, it seems like even better than yesterday, which was good. But
you're on the mend.
But because of that, I know some things I went to, I just felt like I was the drunk in the room or something, like sitting there staring at my, position and not talking too much. But eventually I ended up going over to James's house. We got together for a Samson sort of family dinner on Friday. And then Christmas, I was going to stay overnight, but I didn't because the weather was so bad. So I drove there for 6:45 on Christmas Day. And funny enough, they raise dogs, as you know, and the dog had puppies Christmas morning at 5:30 in the morning.
How exciting.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because one of the people, they're all sold. One of the people that bought the dog, one of the puppies, it was his birthday. So the dog was born on his birthday, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody born on Christmas Day and the puppy born on Christmas Day?
Yeah. The owner was born on Christmas Day and the puppy was born on Christmas Day. So
wow, easy to remember birthdays.
I guess so. So it was a great time. Great just to be with the grandkids and just enjoy a lot of what went on. But the flip side of that was because of my vertigo, and then Christina, my girlfriend, ended up getting pink eye or something like that, pink eye. So we haven't seen each other yet. So I'm hoping to maybe see her for the New Year's. I'm hoping. So it's been like 4 weeks.
So some gifts are still to be exchanged.
Oh yeah. So I know you had your crew up. So pray tell.
Yes, it was nearly a full house. I had one son not able to make the trek. The train was canceled. The railway got stuck between Montreal and Oshawa. So they canceled their trip. So that was the only casualty. The other son came by car and had to get off the 401 because it was closed near Belleville, and had to find an alternative route through the back roads, which is no fun at the best of times. But when you're in a blizzard, it's white-knuckle driving. And they did arrive. So everybody was here. The group from Calgary came early and stayed after everyone had gone. So there was a good time of connecting with the Westerners.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just talked to my son out west on the phone very briefly Christmas morning. But yeah. So it was an interesting, strange. As I said, because of my condition, like I went Christmas Eve to my church, which I didn't think I was going to be able to do, and I like to do that, but I got out of there about as quick as I could. I was just out of it.
Well,
as I said, I'm really
vertigo. Vertigo is a tough thing, so you got a bit of a mending journey ahead of you, I guess.
Well, I think I'm really, really. It's been like 4 weeks, I guess, and I think I'm really now. The dizziness seems to be going, which is good. Like the dizziness and the vertigo is really hard, and with all honesty, I thought I was going to die. So kudos to my girlfriend who had to look after me because it hit me right at her house.
Wow.
I just threw up couldn't stop throwing up. Laid on a couch for 2 days straight. Couldn't open my eyes. Yeah, it was just, I thought I was dying when it happened. I thought, this isn't a pretty way to go either.
Yeah, well, it sounds nasty, so I'm glad you're on the mend.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question about Christmas, using a play on the word presents, as in gifts, or presence, CES, as in your being there, present.
Yeah. Okay.
So gifts versus your physical being in the midst of a family celebrating Christmas.
Well, it was funny. My spelling problem, right? So I wrote a Christmas song back. I'm not sure which one it was called, but I used the word present. And I remember my friend Peter saying, "That's just brilliant." I didn't have a clue what he was talking about, but I had the wrong present.
It was the presents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, It can be a nice intentional play on words. So our presence, what is it worth to our families? You and I reflecting as senior citizens at this point. This is the Jim and Terry Show, a couple of retired guys with a lot to say about nothing. And here we are talking about present versus presence. What is it that we offer our families at this point?
I'm not really quite sure. I think it's just you're not dead.
Oh my!
Well, my son's my sons lost their mother just not too far from Christmas, so I guess me being there, like going over at James's, I was there all day. I'm glad I could have that stamina because I didn't think I was going to be able to, but that was probably the best. Christmas Day was probably the best I felt in a long time. So just kind of hung around, and then when they start bringing out the games, so I go, what can I do? Call Justin.
Yeah, vertigo and games and busyness and activities seem to be incompatible.
Yeah. But I don't know what we represent other than just, the seniors, the people that have been around.
So some part of that must be wisdom or shared narratives, like you were there during their formative years. You're there to see them off to school, there to see them in their whatever activities they were. So is it that you know them from beginning, literally, to this point? You know their entirety?
I was there for James opening his presents because I've always let my sort of family do their own thing. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to be. I wanted them to have their own Christmases. Anyways, so being there when James' family was opening their Christmas, they did it differently than I did, and so we discussed that. James and I discussed, how I used to do it at my house when they were children, and how they do it, and how they do it at James's house is a lot the way his wife's family did it. And I liked it. It was really, really quite neat. You open a present, then you go get another present. You pass that on. They open the present, then they go get a present and pass it to somebody, and that's how it worked, right?
Yeah, sharing.
And yeah, it was kind of cool. I liked it, and yeah, and then we just kind of hung out,
Mhm.
And
Lots of conversation.
What's that?
Lots of conversation then, as opposed to gift unwrapping on your end.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're unwrapping in the morning. Apparently, their children get up and they open gigantic stockings, right? That's enough to hold them over until everything gets moving.
Yes.
Like that. But there was some good talking. As I said, Christmas was better than I said almost nothing on the couple of days before that at the house. Almost nothing. I just sat at the table going, when do I get to go home?
Now, that's because of your vertigo, but
Yeah.
Normally when you visit, do you feel like you're a piece of furniture? They're just glad to have you propped up in a corner, much as I witnessed your dad in your front window sitting with a view of the street.
Well, we were fortunate because we got talking quite a bit on Christmas Day. Jonathan and Leanne were there; they were here. So when I got home, we exchanged gifts here. But Justin and James's studio is just beautiful. Terry, you should see it.
Oh, it's really coming along.
Just
good for you, James. Way to think about it and plan it and do it right.
Yeah, and we had some really interesting creative talk about shows and what you could do and that kind of thing, which was interesting. I could contribute that time. I think.
Good for
being
you.
a creative kind of person myself.
Yes.
So yeah, it was all really, really quite nice. I had a good time. Yeah.
Okay, so
And
just
you?
reflecting again on the age and stage thing, do we as maybe older fathers now, since you and I are in that age and stage in that bracket, are we like treasured ornaments on a Christmas tree, brought out and placed, and everybody says, ooh, ah, and looks, but don't talk? Or is it that we occupy a place of prestige? After all, you are an ancestor now. You have the clan below you in chronological order. Or is it that we delight in observing now? We don't need to be the infuser of energy or director of conversation and play.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I don't think I'm the infuser of energy as I once
Not
was.
at this point.
Yeah, so more of a observing and throw your 2 cents worth in every now and then. Uh, uh, my favorite saying is that it's not my fight anymore. So
Yes.
if I don't want to get in a fight, I'll just not bother. There was a time I'd stand my grounds, by George. I'll tell you what's right. So how about you? Is that how you're feeling? Are you a little bit more observing the dynamics?
Yes, and because this was our first Christmas with the two grandchildren from out west, it was a surprise to me to see how they interact. It was enjoyable for me to watch my daughter and son-in-law parent. It was informative for me to just be in the background and let the parents be the keepers of Christmas and whatever they're going to do, and go with the flow. As long as we had coffee going, I was good.
Yeah, me too. That was about it with me as well. Long as I had a coffee, that was good. I'm okay with it all.
Yes, and it just unfolded. So things have changed, and because we had the grandchildren for the first time, the oldest one is now 7, the youngest one is 5. So first time to share a Christmas together, it was well worth observing.
Well, yeah, and it's funny that I've got my grandkids are starting to get up there, like Nevaeh's going to be, she's 17, I guess, and
well, she's almost through high school now.
Yeah. And so, and then the ones just below her, they're teenagers now, and I'm going, well, and what I like is the cousins
Yes.
really get along and really play and really get loud, and and they really have a good time.
Sounds
and
like an
I like
old-fashioned
that.
Samson household.
Yeah, just loud and yeah. And I like that. I like the sound of life. I know some people don't like it, but I do. As long as they're not crying, I'm totally happy with the giggling, the laughing, and the running around and the slamming of the floors. I'm fine with it.
Well, the
They're having
crying,
life.
the crying may be from older cousins, or we're not so older, but older than the ones being victimized, being taken a toy away from, or accidentally knocked, or intentionally bumped to the ground. And yeah, that's a school of hard knocks, and there is crying. Weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth? Maybe not, but some injuries was certainly experienced on our end anyway. Let's leave it at that. That's Christmas. Anything you'd finally like to say about your Christmas experience? And
Well,
we'll wrap it
as
up and go on to New Year's in another podcast.
as it was just as I said, it was strange that I didn't get together with my girlfriend or not. So yeah, I got a couple of presents under the tree, and hopefully we'll get together this weekend and we can exchange gifts.
Well, hopefully you will have many Christmases with people that you did not get to see or visit.
Yeah, it would have been great. I'll just last thing, because I know we got to end the show. As you said, you had your daughter and family come out from Calgary. I have a son in Calgary. It would have been wonderful if their family could come, but there's 6 of them.
That gets to be costly in terms of transportation.
Yeah.
Yep. So we celebrate who can gather, and whosoever will may come.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
All right. Take care now. We'll be back for the Jim and Terry Show New Year's podcast. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.